Hey guys, welcome to Gray Plague. This is from the same person that made Stink Bug Plague and the Zephyo, and they're actually like a really good artist, and they made all these games themselves. So I guess we'll just start the game, and I think this game also has multiple endings. I think it's also like a text-based type story, and we'll have to make choices along the way. What? Pick up the phone or ignore it. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the phone. Hello, this is Red? Hello, sweetie. What the? Mom? How's your day? Why is Mom calling? She never wants to chat. Besides, she should be working at the hospital right now. What do you want? Or chat for a while? I guess we'll go ahead and do chat for a while. Mom and I chat for a few minutes. The chat quickly dissolves into a lecture on my poor sleep habits. Figures. You are so lazy. Wake up earlier from now on. I will. Not. Good. Sweetie, I didn't actually call to chit-chat. Get me some breakfast, would you? My academic conference at the hospital is going on a little long. As interesting as 3D printed organs are, I can't focus with a grumbling stomach. Sigh. Yeah, anything else? Ooh, get hummus with pita bread. Good stuff, Red. Fine. Also, visit your grandma. I'd do it myself, but I'm just too busy. Well, there goes my Saturday. Last I heard from her was months ago. Her voice was hoarse, and there's an unusual sickness going around, so I just wonder. There's an unusual sickness? Sweetheart, did you not know that? Know what? A new disease has been spreading rapidly in the past few months. It's nicknamed the Gray Plague for how it grays your skin. Gray Plague might be mutated tuberculosis, which is one of the most deadly diseases. The victims of Gray Plague at my hospital are already showing the usual symptoms of tuberculosis. For some, their lungs are riddled with holes, and in worst cases, well, what about the worst cases? Well, for those with higher amounts of Gray Plague bacteria and weaker immune systems, yeah, their lungs are almost completely gone by cavitation. And without both lungs, they can't get oxygen. They'll die. It can't get worse, right? Well, it's rare, but Gray Plague can cavitate any other organ too. The liver, the kidneys, even the heart. I guess we'll ask, can it be cured? Can it be cured? We don't know. If Gray Plague's just another form of tuberculosis, can't you cure Gray Plague with tuberculosis medication? That exists, right? Yes, but Gray Plague mutated so that existing tuberculosis treatment doesn't work on it. That's why if tuberculosis used to be the #1 deadliest disease, Gray Plague is even more so. How does Gray Plague even work? How does that even work? Well, the process is quite elaborate. Trachea, tube for air, branches into bronchi. Lungs, gives oxygen to blood cells. Diaphragm, muscles, how lungs get oxygen. Digestive system, digests and excretes. Heart, pumps blood from lungs to the rest of the body. Okay, I think I've highlighted everything. Maybe if you visualize it, you'll understand better. Imagine you're a tuberculosis bacteria. Okay. Hush, imagine. A person with Gray Plague just sneezed. You start your journey in front of that person and a droplet that came out of that sneeze. Travel through the air to find an uninfected person's mouth and infect them. After descending the trachea, you come upon two branching paths. The left bronchus and the right bronchus of the lungs. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Which will you choose? Oh crap, I don't know. I don't even know if this really even matters much. Let's go into the right. This is kind of cool. It's very different. Looks like you encountered a white blood cell. I forgot to mention, but the immune system of your host might start sending white blood cells to destroy you. Avoid them, and good luck. Okay, so we gotta stay away from those. The TB bacteria should go to an alveolus in the upper half of the lungs. There's more oxygen there. Alright, so now we have to go all the way back up. We have to dodge these guys again. I'm not gonna make it. Alright, now what do we do? You've arrived at an alveolus with lots of oxygen. You divide into more bacterium to infest your host further. Uh-oh, watch out. White blood cells have found out where you are and are heading your way. how the heck am I supposed to get out of here? Too bad for now. Your journey ends here. You got engulfed by a white blood cell. But because TB bacteria contain special protein that blocks the white blood cell's enzymes, you don't get digested. Once the immune system realizes the TB bacteria are still alive, the bacteria get attacked with white blood cells and phagocytes over and over again. The layers of immune cells start forming a sphere-like shape called a granuloma. The granuloma gets larger and larger. Eventually, it calcifies into a hard white mass visible in X-rays. This is where cavitation comes in. Remember, the TB bacteria survive all this because they have a special protein. Sometimes the surviving TB bacteria can duplicate rapidly inside the calcified granuloma and burst out. And thus the process is started all over again. TB travels to other alveoli. Alveoli gets destroyed by granuloma. Granuloma calcifies, granuloma bursts. The lungs get destroyed. There we go, sweetie. Cavitation. You're right, that is an elaborate process. Stay safe, sweetheart. Don't inhale near those who've sneezed. Mom doesn't know about my powers. Let's just say I'm basically immune to disease. Wait, what's wrong with Grandma? Oh dear, well, last I heard from her, she sounded hoarse and kept coughing. You know, she might have an infection. What infection? I'm not sure. I hope she's alright. Then why don't you visit her yourself? I said I'm busy. What are you learning about in your academic session? 3D printed organs? Before I tell you, do you know what 3D printing is? Yes. So every few months, my hospital holds an academic conference. Professionals all over the world come to attend. During it, we learn about the latest medical innovations. Today, the conference is all about one of the most exciting innovations yet, 3D printed organs. If humankind could make organs out of thin air, think of the possibilities. We could transplant organs and other body parts without needing donors. We could save so many lives. We could even maybe print a whole human. Of course, the technology behind it all has limitations. It's quite expensive, and we can't yet print complicated organs like intestines, liver, the brain. Maybe 3D printed organs could somehow help the victims of Gray Plague. Bye. Look at the time, I need to hurry back. Don't talk to strangers and be careful on your way to Grandma's. You know she doesn't live in the nicest part of town. Bye, sweetie. Click. Alright, so it looks like we're in the apartment. There's like things we can interact with. Mom worries about me getting Gray Plague, but I've never gotten sick, not once. And then there's this curse I have. I've only told my grandma and best friend about my powers. Examine my hands. It's weird. If I want to, I can see people's organs, their bones, their muscles. I can even see mine. When I'm bored, sometimes I just stare at my hand bones. Metacarpals, palm bones, long bones. Phalanges, bones of fingers, toes, long bones. Carpals, wrist bones, short bones. The staring has taught me that my hands made of 3 types of bones. Phalanges in my fingers, metacarpals at my palm, and carpals at my wrist. I have bones everywhere. One day I was so bored that I counted them all. 206 in total, I think. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. This was probably made for like a class or something, because it's so, it's just basically straight facts just about. I mean, that's the only reason I could think this was made. All blood cells are made in the bones, too. Without bones, I'd be some sort of shapeless, bloodless jelly. Examine my muscles. Freaky. Mom told me once that there's 3 types of muscles. These ham muscles are skeletal muscles because they're attached to my skeleton. Okay, I don't think there's like different things to click on except for 3 types of skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. I think that's all there is to click on right now. I hope Grandma's heart, her cardiac muscle, is beating healthily. And my thoughts. It's insane. When I focus, I can see people's nervous system signals firing from neuron to neuron, blinking like a bunch of Christmas lights. Sometimes I can read people's minds from the way their neurons fire. Examine... Oh, okay, now we can examine the different... Okay. Examine my central nervous system. My central nervous system made up of my brain and spinal cord. So there's still nothing to highlight. This is where all the thinking, feeling, and remembering happens. The spinal cord communicates between my brain and the rest of my nervous system. Like the Greek messenger god Hermes. That's why a headless chicken can still run. It still has the spinal cord. Chickens just can't do much thinking without the brain is all. The brain is really complex. It has 4 lobes which control different kinds of thought. Okay, so now we can examine. Frontal lobe processes emotion and logic. Parietal at the top processes movement. Occipital at the back of my head processes visuals, and temporal at the temples processes sound. Okay, let's look at the inner brain. There's a whole nother world on the brain's inside. Diencephalon, homeostasis, brainstem essential functions, cerebellum and voluntary movement. There's the diencephalon. It makes sure my temperature, my eating, and such are balanced. Not too warm or cold, not eating too much or too little. Too warm, time to sweat. Ate too much, time to feel like shit or terrible. That's homeostasis, making sure everything inside the body is nice and balanced. There's the brainstem. It controls my basic body functions. And that cauliflower-looking thing is the cerebellum. It helps control movement. Maybe I should control my movement to get out of bed. Examine my peripheral nervous system. My peripheral nervous system sends messages from my central nervous system to the rest of my organs. Muscles, bones, stomach, you name it. Okay, there's nothing really to examine, I guess. Forget it, I'm stuck with this curse, blessing, power. It's better to ignore it. No one has to know. I'm normal, I'm normal. My powers fascinate, yet scare me. I hope Mom never finds out. Okay, so there's nothing else to examine right there. The view out my window. It's the wholesale store. Probably I'll buy Mom's breakfast there. It's far. I'll have to take the Cramp City bus to get there. Fun. My drawer. Open the first drawer. I keep my physical cash here, not the safest hiding spot. Oh well. Okay, we now have $125. My clothes and my favorite red coat. Might as well get dressed then. Alright, so we're dressed. Yeah, we don't need to look out there anymore. Okay, we already opened the second drawer. I guess it's time to go out the door. Time to go outside? What's this? A letter? Grandma's so old-fashioned. It's spotted with blood. Dearest granddaughter, I have lost track of time. The days blur together. It is hard to breathe. There are blood spots on my clothing, I guess. The neighbors seem restless. I have a request. I hold the fondest love for you. No, I would never ask this of you unless for an emergency. Please, I know you are ashamed of your abilities to see through people, but it... Okay, I can't really read the rest of that. What's going on? Grandma. She was there for me when I was bullied, when I was lost. One of the only ones I trust with my secret. I can't lose her. I have to find her, and I hope everything's okay. Okay, I guess we'll go here next. I guess this is like a map of sorts. The city. Joe, a past coworker, pretty friendly guy. Achoo! Wow, gosh, does he have Gray Plague? Whoa, you alright? Huh? Oh, hey Red, yeah, I've been feeling under the weather, but whatever. So how's it going? Joe and I talk about our lives for a while, and my daughter kept coughing. And the next thing you know, she coughed up some bloody goop. She's staying home for a couple of days. Health's more important than school. And your health isn't more important than work? Ack, you got me there. Okay, let's look at his organs. Okay, looks like his trachea, bronchi, alveoli are damaged by calcified granulomas. Joe's lungs, some cavitation. So he's got the Gray Plague. He must have some form of tuberculosis, maybe Gray Plague. Look, Joe, I think you might have Gray Plague. What was that? That was pretty weird. Gray Plague, do you know what that is? Not really. Is that a bad thing? Yes, it's a bad thing. It means you might have a mutated form of tuberculosis, so you need to get that looked at pronto. Well, I'll get it checked. Joe looks pretty scared. Take care and good luck. Yeah, thanks really. Haha, it's like you got superhuman disease detecting skills or something. Yeah, haha. Okay, let's go talk to this other person. My best friend Sophia, she's in love with biotechnology. Hey Sophia. Hello Red, what are you doing out here? You know, getting breakfast for my mom, the usual. My sarcasm detector is beeping. Do you have any hummus or pita bread by any chance? Well, that's a weird question. I do. Just came out of the grocery store. Cool, can I have some? What for? Okay, well, my mom requested I specifically fetch some hummus and pita bread for her. So, you're not your mom's maid. Alright. Thank you, this is why I love you. You love me for my food? I need better friends, haha. Know anything about 3D printing? By the way, do you know about 3D printing? Do I know anything? Of course, it's all the rage in biotech. In fact, I have a 3D printer at home that I fiddle around with. You can't print organs with a regular old 3D printer though, right? Unfortunately, yes, you need a bioprinter to print organs. But the difference between a normal 3D printer and a bioprinter is mostly in the printing material. So I'm planning on tweaking my regular printer to print organs. Haha, you're crazy, brilliantly crazy. Well, the alternative is to buy a bioprinter that cost upwards of $100,000, mind you. I've no other choice. Sophia's very clever. With my powers and Sophia's smarts, maybe we could devise a treatment for Gray Plague. Maybe even find a cure for my grandma. Thanks. Take care, Sophia. Back at you, Red. That's my apartment building. The mall. Okay. Grocers. I don't need to go there. Don't need to go there. Yum, bread. What should I get? Well, I've already bought pita bread. Okay, I'm thinking. What if the pita bread and hummus we were already given is infected somehow? Okay, so now we have two. So maybe I shouldn't have bought that. Welcome, what brings you to our pharmacy today? I'd like some medicine, please. Okay, please give me your prescription. I hand over a prescription for... Huh. I don't think I need any of this right now, to be honest. Have a nice day. Hey. Hi. It's nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Red. Interesting name. What are you here for? I need medicine for my grandma. I think she's sick. Oh, that's terrible. What's your grandma caught? I think it's a mutated form of tuberculosis. Doctors are calling it gray plague. I know the term since I work in the medical sector. I can help you pick medicine if you want. Yes, please. I recommend getting Microcube. It's a well-researched drug for tuberculosis. Yeah? What's the research? Multiple clinical trials demonstrated that 90% of patients were cured after 6 months of usage of Microcube, and it's made by Canine Creations, a highly reputable company. I'm not sure how it'll affect Gray Plague, but it's worth a try. Great, thanks. Hey. Hello, who are you? I'm Adam. I work at Canine Creations. Nice to meet you. Canine, what's that? It's a pharmaceutical firm. We specialize in bacterial and viral infections. Ah, I see. Yeah, I represent the company. I'm a pharmaceutical representative. Hey, have you heard of Gray Plague? Yeah. We're researching solutions to the disease in our labs right now. Cross your fingers for us. Brilliant, definitely. Good luck. It's nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Red. Interesting name. What are you here for? I've already done this. I don't know. Good luck with that. Okay, let's just leave. While getting out of the mall, I stared down the sidewalk and noticed something. There's so much spit, it's kinda gross. Ew, there's a ton of saliva on the floor, but this nasty glob definitely stands out. Sputum. Mom's mentioned sputum before. It's the mucus sick people cough up from their trachea and bronchi. The sputum's bloody. Grandma's letter was spotted with blood, and Joe mentioned his daughter coughing up blood. Nice. Let's try to get closer. I think I overshot my powers because I'm controlling a bacteria. Mom said that scientists diagnosed the disease with a sputum by examining sputum with a microscope and identifying the bacteria or virus there. And those bacteria are definitely tuberculosis. They're all wrapped around each other and rod-shaped just like the tuberculosis bacteria. Yuck, it could even be Gray Plague. Okay, I guess it's time to get on the bus. The metro. Where to? I guess to the rich suburb? That's where my mom's hospital is located, am I sure? Yes. Now all I have to do is wait. Look around. They all look a bit tired and stressed, typical rush hour riders. Best not bother them. Finally, some peace and quiet. So many things to think about. I've been fighting to ignore my powers for years. I've had my powers ever since I could remember. Was I born with it? I don't know. I first discovered it when I looked into someone's eyes and saw their whole eyeball. That was scary. And now it's bloomed into something huge. I can control bacteria, for heaven's sake. My family. My mom has never been a particularly warm, comforting parent. I guess my grandma gave me the motherly love that I had lacked. But then again, what do I know about parenting? Tuberculosis is a deadly disease. If left untreated, the victim will have a 50% chance of dying. Oh God. And Great Plague, a mutation vulnerable to modern medicine. I expect a historically dangerous epidemic. I take a nice long nap. By the time I wake up, I'm nearly there. Soon I step off the metro. The hospital. I've seen that guy in the suit before, haven't I? I remember. I saw him in the mall. He was that guy Adam in the pharmacy. The pharmaceutical representative. I edge closer to the group, nothing suspicious going on over here. I get within hearing range. Hello, it's nice to meet up again. I brought us all lunch. Thank you, that's so generous. It's no problem. How has work been going? I've prescribed 9 patients microcube since you have, you're responsible for meeting a quota of a certain number of microcube prescriptions, is that correct? Yes, and thank you. The woes of being a drug rep, ha. Ha, anything to help out a friend. Seems like the drug's pretty good, too. He's influencing the doctor via their friendship, just like how he was friendly and helpful with me. I don't know, I'm skeptical about this drug. Oh God, you're such a Debbie Downer. Is this because Adam gives me, not you, free medicine samples? I can give you samples if you want. No, look, Susie, he's a drug rep, and those samples are like bribes. It's his job to sell you his medicine. I know that. I'm just saying, we should be doubtful until solid empirical evidence for the drug comes out. I understand your concerns. If I may, I'd like to brief on the research behind Microcube. Go ahead. Thank you. In the past decades, our labs in Africa have run animal testing on various canines in search of a cure to tuberculosis. During our research, we developed a new strain of tuberculosis that was highly infectious and immune to modern medicine, to create a drug that can eliminate the most dangerous tuberculosis. Unfortunately, some of the new strain, escaped. What? Does that mean the Gray Plague came from lab experiments? And this guy's company is trying to sell medicine to a disease that they caused? Sheesh. But no worries, we immediately contained the escape. In the process, we discovered how highly dangerous tuberculosis works in a real-world environment. And we were able to create Microcube. Adam talks at length and I tune out, slightly bored, until using Microcube for only 6 months can cure about 90% of the tuberculosis afflicted. Think about it. This is a life-saving drug. What makes it different from the existing drugs? Let me get to that. Rifampicin isoniazide or pyrazinamide for 6 months ought to do it. Plus, the combo has way more evidence behind it. They're more costly. Plus, evidence behind Microcube seems dubious as well. I mean, animal testing? Results from animal testing have been completely wrong on multiple occasions. Think of that one drug, thalidomide, that was given to pregnant women to reduce nausea. It ended up doing that and much more, deforming over 10,000 babies' limbs. Guys, keep it down. That girl is looking at us weirdly. Let's continue this conversation in my office. They leave for the second floor, giving me lots to think about. I guess we just go upstairs now. There are so many rooms. How do I find Mom? Let's wander around. Everything looks the same. At least I'm getting exercise. Find a specific room number. The random number guessing game, my favorite. Alright. Let's type in some random numbers. 7. Mom's not here. $200? Okay, let's just call. The phone rings. Hey Mom, what room are you in? Room 230, be quick. Okay, bye. Ah, Red, you're here. My academic session just finished. I'll take the breakfast. Since you're here, want to watch me work? Great, follow me to my current patient's room. We walked down never-ending identical hallways. Eventually we stopped at room 266. Okay, this is the only thing we can click on. What's up with her? Does she have Gray Plague? Yes, I think she got Gray Plague when visiting Africa. She mentioned volunteering there a few months ago. Over 90% of the developing world is infected with tuberculosis, so it would make sense. Okay. She must have gotten it from the air. Right. God, you're smarter than I thought. She used to have Latin Gray Plague. What's that? When a disease is latent, it's not contagious and doesn't cause any symptoms. A third of the world has tuberculosis, for example, but you can't tell because most of it is latent. Her Gray Plague used to be latent but became active in recent days. What's active? What? Shush, an active disease becomes contagious and causes symptoms. That's why this patient came in right when she started getting high fevers. Her symptoms don't seem too bad, but in several hours that may change. She might develop cavities from, do you remember? Oh man. I think it's this. Yeah, she may develop granulomas if they calcify. They could destroy her lung tissue. Goodness. I feel so bad for her. I don't want to mess with my mom's patient, but I know I could do something for her with my powers. Do something. I look at her and begin to focus. What part of her body should I concentrate on? Where would tuberculosis target? The lungs. The lungs. When tuberculosis infects other organs, that's called extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Extra meaning beyond, pulmonary meaning lungs. But the lungs are infected in most 90% of patients. Deep breaths, I can do this. I begin to concentrate. It seems like I'll need to defeat 5 bacteria to get rid of the infection. I'm nervous, but I can't let this patient potentially get worse, maybe even die. Alright, so we need to find 3 more of these. I'm not going to talk very much right now because I want to rest my voice a little bit from all that reading. Wow, I did it. It's time to see whether my powers affected anything or not. She looks much better. What did I just do? Did I just heal this patient with my powers? Oh gosh, Mom's looking at me strangely. Please don't let her find out. Red, what did you do? What do you mean? I saw you practically pass out for a few minutes. Okay, let's just tell her, I guess. I explained my powers to her nervous. I've never shared anything so personal before. For this first time, I saw my mom at a loss. She didn't know what to do. She eventually led me out of the building and we parted with her words, "I'll try to understand and support you." I think that might have been one of the nicest things she said to me. The sun's already setting. I gotta hurry up and check on Grandma. The metro. Where to? The city, I guess. That's where the store and the apartment's at. Am I sure? Yes. Now all I have to do is wait. Girl and bus. Everything hurts. Hey, you okay? No, not really. Thanks for asking. Can I do anything to help? No, not really. I mean, what could you possibly do? I could distract her from pain by talking, or... Do you want to tell me about your symptoms? I'm a doctor's daughter, so I could give, like, an armchair diagnosis, haha, I'm sure. So this is kind of gross, but I have this vicious mucus come up whenever I cough. Sometimes it has blood, too. That's bad, right? Do you know what that is? Ah, it's sputum. It's when you cough up from your trachea and bronchi when you're sick or have allergies. You can spit it out or swallow it without adverse effects. That's nasty. It's helpful for doctors, though, to diagnose your sickness. So where exactly do you hurt? Everywhere? No, scratch that. It's in my lungs and spine for some reason. It's like thousands of sandpaper sheets rubbing against those areas. Ooch, I feel pain just from hearing that. She definitely has Great Plague. Perhaps her Great Plague has traveled beyond the lungs like extrapulmonary tuberculosis. It's highly unusual, but possible the bacteria could have infected the blood in her lungs, then traveled to other organs of the body. And organs include vertebrae, the bones of the spine. Let's try to cure her. Hey, I'm going to try and do something to help you, okay? Okay, you're a total stranger, so I should probably be wary, but ouch. I concentrate my powers. What part of the body should I target? The lungs and the spine, I think. Yes, I need to target the lungs and spine. She has severe back pain. That's more common symptoms of spinal tuberculosis. Plus, the most common type of extrapulmonary tuberculosis occurs in the bones. Why am I doing this right after using my powers in front of my mom? Here goes nothing. From a glance, her lung have to defeat 10 tuberculosis bacteria to cure her. Here goes nothing. Look, that purple thing. It's a granule and massive dead white blood cells. Rest in peace, cell brethren. It's blocking my travels through the bronchioles, but I could probably push it if I tried hard enough. The cells haven't hardened with calcification yet. It's white with calcium buildup occurs over a long time. I better hurry up before other granules start calcifying. The spine. Ooh, seems like she has calcification in her spine. That's pretty rare and a very strong sign of spinal tuberculosis. Oh gosh, I feel so much better now. Can I say something? You are awesome. Thank you. This girl be Harry Potter reincarnate or something? Hi, thanks again, Harry Potter, or Red, was it? Even though I struggle accepting this part of me, I'm starting to cherish my powers more and more, the things I can do with it. Okay, so it's just gonna go through everything we've already done before, I think. Okay, so there's nothing really new. My grandma's house is near there, am I sure? Yes. I don't like this area. Grandma may think it's all peachy, but it gives me the creeps. Somehow I dread what I may find in the only open room. Grandma. Ugh. Grandma, how are you? Hello? She seems like she's asleep. What should I do? Oh god, she's an intense fever. She's burning. Even though it'd be better if I had a thermometer, touching also works too. It has 50 to 90% accuracy. A fever is a strong sign of tuberculosis, and tuberculosis meningitis. That is tuberculosis in the meninges. Why meninges? I don't even know if I'm saying that right either. Meninges are membranes that envelop and protect the central nervous system. Since meninges are the brain's first line of defense, tuberculosis has to infect grandma's meninges before it gets to the other parts of the brain. I shake her awake a bit rude, but it does the job. Grandma, this is urgent. Tell me how you're feeling. What? Do you have a runny nose, a headache? Ah, such intense headache, dear Red. When did you get here? Just now, you were saying? Was I? Oh, and a fever, yes, maybe. Grandma's interrupted by a bout of wet coughing. As I was saying, oh my, when did you get here, Red? I snore. So Grandma has a headache, fever, cough, and memory loss, apparently. The fever and cough point to tuberculosis, perhaps a gray plague in the lungs, but the headache and memory loss point to something far more sinister. Tuberculosis somewhere in the brain, maybe. I use my powers on... Oh, man. I guess lungs and cerebellum? I'm not sure about that. Do I need to investigate more? Her lungs and meninges seem infected. Good luck, myself. Oh no, Grandma. Her tuberculosis seems to have gone a long time untreated. I'll have to defeat 14 bacteria. Ah, it's Granulola. Grandma seems to have so many. Oh no. Okay, so I can reset it. Okay, so we have the first half done. Now we have to go to the other side. Woo, I did it. Onto the brain. Yes. I'm grateful Grandma didn't have any calcification in her brain. Grandma looks better, but she's not waking up. It's been literally hours. Why isn't she waking up? Grandma? I grab her shoulders and shake her with increasing force. I feel rude and disrespectful, so I stop soon. She's still not waking up. Mom's a professional. Even if we don't have a great relationship, she should know what's going on. It's been 4 years since Grandma fell into a coma. The doctors, including my mom, say it's caused by traumatic brain injury. People tell me it's not my fault, but I was just there at a bad time, but they don't know what I did. They don't know that I was messing around in Grandma's brain. Sophia's calling. Hello, Sophia? Hi, Red. Great news. My assistants and I finished prototyping the 3D printed brain you sponsored made with your grandma's stem cells. We think it could be transplanted to your grandma in about a month. How about it? Let's do it.
To the end of my days. And beyond. See?
This way there's no one to hold me back in life. No one to keep me from traveling where I want to travel. No one getting in the way of my career.
Alright guys, so that was Gray Plague. I think there's 2 endings, but I don't think I'm going to try to get the other one. I did like it, I thought it was pretty cool, and this was all like hand-drawn, I'm pretty sure. And I think the artwork was really great in this. It's another game by Zephyo, the same person that did Stinkbug Plague, like I said at the beginning of the video. And I'm definitely going to leave a link down in the bottom, in the description, like I have been doing with the other videos, these last couple videos, so that you guys can all play it for yourselves. And I'll probably also put a link to Zephyo's YouTube channel, because there's some like pretty interesting behind the scenes stuff on some of the games that she's made on there. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time.